السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Prepositional phrases exercise number 2. Extract the prepositional phrases and underline their objects. دركا زاد عندي واحد السؤال آخر ما كانش في التمرين الأولاني اللي هو underlining the object of the preposition. نبدأ على بركة الله. The name Frank Lloyd Wright is well known among architects. Where is the prepositional phrase and where is its object? American architect Frank Lloyd Wright was a key figure in modern architecture. Wright produced designs for residences and commercial buildings. His designs are known for their originality. With a style based on natural forms, Wright's work is unique. Though he studied civil engineering for a time, Wright worked in a design department. On the side, Wright designed houses for clients of the firm. The homes have low roofs and walls of windows. Huge stone fireplaces are a central part of his home designs. His commercial buildings have heavy walls with skylights for the primary light source. At Robbie Hussein, Chicago, Wright blended the architecture with the surrounding landscape. After 1893, Wright went out on his own. He would become one of the most famous architects in the United States. Taliesin West is a complex near Phoenix that became Wright's home, workshop, and school. It is a series of structures with roofs of canvas and wood resting on walls of boulders. The Guggenheim Museum in New York is another of Wright's creations. It has a spiral design similar to the structure of seashells. His designs are marked by the use of forms from nature. One of his most famous buildings, Falling Water, is located in a small town in Pennsylvania. Falling Water is now one of the most popular tourist attractions in Pennsylvania. دركا غندوز مباشرة للتصحيح. Correction. تذكير فقط. Prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or a pronoun called the object of the preposition. نشوفوا الجملة الأولى وغنمشي مباشرة اللي بالأحمر راها prepositional phrase واللي مسطر تحتها راه الأوبجكت ديال prepositional phrase. هنايا عندي preposition هي among architects. The whole thing is a prepositional phrase and architects is the object of the prepositional phrase. Okay, here we have in modern architecture. In modern architecture, prepositional phrase, architecture, its object. For residences and commercial buildings, the whole thing is prepositional phrase. For residences, the object, and buildings is an object too. هاد commercial أو الادجectives اللي تيكونوا داخلين ما تتعتبروش objects of the prepositional phrase فقط noun or pronoun. His design for their originality, again for their originality, and the originality is the object, the whole thing is a phrase. With a style based on natural forms. On natural forms, phrase forms is the object. Next, Wright worked in a design department. The whole thing is a phrase, the object is department. We forget completely about the adjective and the article. On the side, again, the side by itself is the object, on the side is preposition phrase. For clients of the firm, for clients is prepositional phrase number 1. Clients is the object of the firm, phrase number 2. Firm is the object. Low roofs and walls of windows, again of windows phrase, windows object. A central part of his home designs, again of his home designs, a phrase, designs the object. Have heavy walls with skylights, phrase number 1. Skylights object. For the primary light source, phrase, the object is source. At Robbie Hossein in Chicago, at Robbie Hossein is phrase number 1. Robbie Hossein is the object. In Chicago, another phrase, Chicago the object. The architecture with the surrounding landscape, with the surrounding landscape phrase, landscape is an object. After 1893 phrase, the date 1893 is an object. Went out on his own, phrase, own is the object of the phrase. He would become one of the most famous architects. This is phrase number 1. Architects is the object. In the United States, phrase number 2. United States object. Tennessee West is a complex near Phoenix. Near Phoenix is a phrase. Phoenix is the object. It's a series of structures with roofs. Phrase number 1. Roofs object of canvas and wood. Phrase number 2. Resting up until here. Phrase number 2. Object canvas number 1 and object number 2 is wood. On walls of boulders. Again, on walls. Phrase number 3. Walls object of boulders. Phrase number 4 and boulders is the object. In New York, phrase, New York object. It has a spiral design similar to the structure number 1, phrase number 1, structure object of seashells, phrase number 2, seashells object. His designs are marked by the use is phrase number 1, use is the object of forms, phrase number 2, forms object from nature, phrase number 3, nature object. One of his famous buildings fallen water. تذكروا positives اللي كنا شفناهم. Of his most famous buildings fallen water. The whole thing is a phrase. Buildings fallen water اللي هو fallen water. هذه additional information يعني object is located in a small town. In a small town. Phrase 2. Town object in Pennsylvania. Phrase 3. Pennsylvania object. Fallen water is now one of the most popular tourist attractions. The whole thing is phrase number 1. Attractions is the object in Pennsylvania. Phrase number 2. Pennsylvania is the object, and I wish you the best of luck.